Hello everybody, welcome back to the FRA Radio podcast. I'm your host Chloe Dean and today I'm joined by a very special guest, Alex Benham, who is the founder of a athleisure brand called Eclipsar. And let's just get into it. So do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, so I'm Alex. A lot of people, maybe a year ago, people would know me as Alex that worked as a chief steward full-time on super yachts. And before you all ask, it is nothing like below deck, as we've just been talking about. But fast forward to 2025, I am currently transitioning to land. Going to be a mum in February, which is exciting, and doing what was my side hustle, which is Eclipsar, my clothing brand, and doing that full time now.
Very exciting. So do you want to get into a little bit about what inspired you to start up Eclipsar?
Yeah, so I guess the initial idea rose in my late teens, early 20s. Prior to yachting, I went to theatre school. I was an athlete. Yeah. So I guess back then, obviously, the choice of activewear now is so different from about 10 years ago and longer. And I just kind of looked at, the gym wear, or now what we call it activewear, was very boring. It was a certain style, and I definitely thought it was, targeted to kind of one demographic. Kind of one look. And in my personal opinion, it was definitely skinny people. It wasn't really that diverse. And I remember at theatre school looking at some of these girls, and they were wearing 2 sports bras for support, and I just felt sorry for them, and I thought, I can do something and make these people feel confident and feel good about wearing activewear. And so that's kind of where I came up with the idea. Fast forward about 10 years, had my successful career in yachting, saved up lots of money, and thought, I'm going to make this dream a reality and make a brand. And that's kind of where the idea came from. Obviously now it is a lot more choices and a lot different. You've got big competitors, but I'm like, I still want to do this. I've still got a passion for it.
And I think as well, like, people quite like having like my small niche brands. So like if everyone be like, oh yeah, like I just shop from Eclipsar, and like no one else knows who that is. Like I think that's like quite a thing that people will be into.
Yeah, and it's really good because it's like, well, who is Eclipsar? What is Eclipsar? What do they sell? What do they have? And so I was
going to say, what year did you found Eclipsar?
Eclipsar, I started it in lockdown.
Okay.
So quite a while ago. Yeah. But weirdly, I was putting a brand new yacht together, a new build. So for anybody that knows yachting, it's a really intense project. Okay. You are going into a shell of a yacht and putting from teaspoons to bed linen, then to the guest side, you're doing, linens, crockery, the whole interior design essentially. And then I decided, I was like, I'm going to do a brand, which is crazy.
That's crazy. I didn't realize that you'd started it so long ago.
Yeah, I did. And I think I kind of kept putting it off because I was really nervous, because obviously when you put yourself out there, you do get a lot of positive and negative feedback, but what do you expect? So I was really nervous, and I remember putting the first post out on Instagram, and it was with my best friend, and we were on the train heading to London from Edinburgh, and she was like, go for it, just click, post it now. And I did, and after that I was like, there is no going back.
It's out there now.
You have to go with it, you have to go through with it. So that's kind of where it all came, and it was March 2021 that it all
kicked off.
It went real, it was out in the world.
So how many drops have you had with Eclipsar?
So I've done 2.
Okay.
So we had the basic edit, and then we had the Amalfi, and the basic edit was basically testing out kind of what sets we were going for, what was our niche,
What do people like?
Yeah, what do people not like? Because obviously what I like and what maybe yourself likes is two completely different things. And so I just kind of wanted to see what people wanted. And then the Amalfi edit came from, our boat was docked in Genoa in Italy.
Okay.
So we got the train to Santa Margherita. And that's where one of the sets was named after.
Okay.
And there's the Portofino set and the Capri, all from places in Italy.
Oh, wonderful. Yeah. What made you pick the names for the sets based on the places?
It was places I had been in Italy that I travelled on the yacht, and I think because it was a side hustle or a side project, I kind of wanted to,
incorporate it.
With my full-time job and kind of how I funded the brand. So that's where all the names came from.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask next actually. Like, how do you find balancing like yachting and having your own brand?
Very difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, hats off to my parents and my family. I would get an order through and they would pack it up in Scotland. They would post it off to the customers, make it all beautifully wrapped. They'd count the stock for me. So it was really difficult. But on the upside, I was working on a billionaire super yacht.
Yeah.
So on our break times, we'd have the stewardesses and we'd be like, right, you put some outfits on, let's get on deck and let's do a photo shoot. So we had, they were far from professional. And I mean, looking back at my first website to even this website, it came on leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
And we'd take pictures of the girls in the outfits in beautiful places like Capri. We were in the south of France. We'd done it all over because we travelled, and I think that was a really good upside.
Yeah, definitely.
Of running a business, because people run businesses now and wouldn't even get these opportunities. So I think it was really good that side.
Yeah.
But was privileged that side, and also selling the brand to people from all different places.
Yeah.
We worked with South Africans, Australians, people from New Zealand. So kind of when we started talking about the brand, they would go home to their friends and be like, oh my God, I bought this set from one of the girls on board. They've started out an activewear brand. And that's kind of how it got going.
It's a good word of mouth, that.
Yeah. And that's the thing. It wasn't one little community like Edinburgh. It was worldwide, which is amazing. However, the downside was when everyone was going out and having drinks and having fun and meeting new crew, I kind of
did your own work.
Had to focus on the side hustle because, in yachting, your shelf life is very short, especially for women. And unless you maybe don't want to have children and you want to stay in that career, which is completely fine, you have to think of something to do when you come out of it.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to sacrifice the partying lifestyle to near
focus on that.
Yeah, and that was kind of near the end of my career. Don't get me wrong, I partied like a rock star back in my 20s, but when starting to do the brand, I did have to sacrifice that side of things.
So I did want to ask as well, like, what was it like yachting? Because like you said, you've just recently finished your career in yachting.
Yes.
But what was that lifestyle like? Was it like below deck? Or
no. It's I think I started 13 years ago, so back right at the start, dock walking for all the older generation of yachting was a thing. And dock walking was, you printed off your CV, you went to Antibes or Palma, and you went round the boats and handed out your CV, basically begging yachts to give you a job.
Wow.
And that's back nowadays. It's so different. You have agents you can go to, word of mouth, you've got social media,
there's courses and stuff,
which is really different. But back 13 years ago, it wasn't like that. And I started off as a stewardess, doing what every stew does, cleaning toilets, making beds, and I didn't really see it as a career at first. It was something I wanted to do. I remember getting into it, and it was a girl in the restaurant that I used to work in. She was like, oh, I'm going away for the summer. I work on a super yacht. And I was like, cha-ching!
Great. Yeah.
This is for me.
Yeah.
and I done my course and off I went and never looked back. And I guess it's led me to big opportunities. I was on a charter boat. It's maybe a year after I started Eclipsar, kind of, you know, and there was charter guests on, and some of them were from Australia. They were friends with the owner, and they had an activewear brand, and they sold out of a big, huge branded company. I guess it was, you know.
Yeah, like someone that sells like other brands.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
And they took some of my sets to the headquarters and took them to board meetings and was like, can we sell this product? And obviously it fell through. My products were very much like their products.
Okay.
Which was kind of, some way I was like, I'm really devastated. I wanted my brand to reach Australia, sell out of this big company. And then the other part of me was like, I'm actually really grateful because my product is a bit like yours. You are a really successful business.
Which suggests that yours will be like that as well.
Yeah. So that made that, I was grateful in that sense, and I was really happy.
You're on the right tracks. Kind of thing.
But I was devastated. I was like, I really want my brand.
Yeah, I bet.
But I guess it's small and steady, you know, and I guess at that time, if it did happen, I would never have been able to keep it up because I was still working full time in yachting. Yeah. And like you say, it is nothing like Below Deck. Below Deck is a reality show where, you know, you want to do all the fun, stupid things, but it's hard work. You know, you've got to have thick skin. Yeah. It's not easy jumping onto a yacht and being friends with people that you only just met. You're sharing a cabin with
a stranger.
Essentially, You're showering, you're getting ready, they then become your family. They know everything about your life. Yeah. And before you know it, you're like, oh my God, this person knows more about my life than
me.
Yeah, essentially. And it's a weird world. And I mean, I'm very grateful I've managed to last 13 years because it's a long time because some people don't even manage to because it's like, this is weird.
Pressure.
Yeah.
And so you said earlier, so it's 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off.
Yeah, so depending on, obviously I started off 13 years ago, it's 45 days leave. And that's all I got within the year. Okay. I got 45 days. But as you grow, and I obviously made it a career, became a chief stew, which is one of the top positions you can get in yachting, and then there's interior manager. And you then start to get rotation. So a lot of yachts now, back 13 years ago, there was no such thing as a 3-1 or a 4-2, which is quite common rotation roles. So in the last 2.5 years, I was on 10 weeks on, 10 weeks off, and then changed to 8 weeks on, 8 weeks off. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, it sounds amazing. But in those 8 weeks, you don't get any days off. No. You know, when you are the chief stew, you become people's mother, therapist. The boyfriend's broken up with them, and you're like, right. You then become worried about them. You're like, where are they? It's 4 a.m. in the morning. Why aren't they back? Yeah, so it becomes a big, huge responsibility.
So during your 8 weeks on, you're obviously like constantly yachting. Yeah. And then on your 8 weeks off, like what do you generally find you filling your time with? Just Eclipsar stuff? Or do you just like to just have some time to do nothing?
A bit of both. I try and balance it out so I can have some time to myself because it is really intense. But also, I really want this brand to be successful, and so you have to work on it. And I guess you only get out of what you put into a brand. So I definitely try to go on holiday, take some new, pieces, take some new content, and do it that. Yeah, so kind of trying to balance.
Yeah, a bit of both.
Yeah, doing a bit of both.
Yeah. What are the aims of Eclipsar? Like, what is your goal with Eclipsar?
So, Eclipsar, I want it to be a successful brand. And what I mean by that is, Eclipsar means, in Spanish, to eclipse and shine. So, how I see that is the best version of yourself, outgrow and truly shine. And so I want people to put on my activewear, my brand, whether they are going to the gym, going for a coffee, doing the school run, and I want them to feel confident and comfortable. And, you know, I know a lot of people are like, I wish my bum was a little toned out, or I wish, you know, I had leggings that kind of held me in. And that's the goal of Eclipsar, is to make people feel confident and outshine in the brand. So the scrunch bum leggings, the seamless scrunch bum, that's got a contour, you know,
vibe,
a high-waisted contour waistband with a scrunch bum to kind of uplift and make you feel good. So that's what I want to achieve, and that's what I want people to feel, and that's what I see as success.
I was going to say, I have an Eclipsar tote bag and I take it to the gym every time I go to the gym. Like, it is my gym bag. I love it. I love that it's like a kind of longer tote instead of like a normal like rectangular one like that. I love it. It's so good. I literally take it to the gym all the time.
This makes me so happy.
You're getting that publicity.
I actually love, like, when I hear that cha-ching from Shopify, I'm like, oh my God, I've got another sale. And I genuinely don't think that'll ever get old. Because for me, I'm like, I can't believe people are buying my brand. Like, it just blows my mind. And I have worked hard in it, and I have put everything in to be like, will the customer like this? Will this person like this style? And it makes me really happy. And I feel like, oh my God, people believe in me and they've bought the stuff. And obviously, like yourself, walking around with a tote bag, and even people buying the socks. I'm like,
they're your socks.
You bought them. It's amazing. And when I see people down the street, or even on social media, you know, a lot of people from yachting have bought the brand. And I'm like, oh my God,
that's
they've tagged me in the
stuff.
boats of that's mine. And I get joy from it. And, you know, one of the boats I previously worked on, I actually supplied their off-charter leggings. And I remember the brief, they were like, we'd like ones with pockets, because depending on the position you are on board, you've got a lot of phones or, you know, different bits. So they were like, we'd like pockets, we'd like them to be, you know, calf length, things like that. And so I supply to the boat. So
that's really cool.
It's crazy, and it honestly fills with so much joy. I'm like, this is amazing. This makes me happy.
I bet. I was going to say as well, so you've mentioned to me earlier that you've got a rebrand coming up. Do you want to touch a little bit on that?
So yes, we are so excited. I've actually currently had a meeting with, well, I've had a lot of social media people doing the social media side of things throughout my years in yachting. But 4 months ago, I took on this new girl. She sees the vision. She gets it. And I think it helped that she also studied in the fashion side of things as well.
Because she studied at the FRA, where we are.
Yes, she did. Yes. And so I think it really does help with that side of things. So the other day, we went through website refresh, which will be coming. We'll be rebranding that in the next few weeks. So by November, that will be out. New logo design, kind of brand, which will be nice. So and kind of really taking it to the next step now that I'm off. And for the first time ever, we're doing a Christmas collection, which I cannot wait for you guys to see. It is really good. And so it's all coming together, and it's a lot of work. It's, you know, you've got to have determination, grit. You know, you've really got to put a lot more into it.
Are there Christmas socks coming?
There is. There is Christmas socks. We're kind of looking into them at the moment. I did actually put a poll up on my personal about kind of colours that people wanted. You know,
what vibe?
What styles do you like? Because it's all fine and well me saying I love this style, but you guys are my customers, so I love getting your feedback to
definitely
what you guys like. So there is a lot of new stuff. There'll be tracksuits, burgundy will be in there.
Ooh,
so we're excited.
Festive.
But it's really excited, and I'm glad I have the new social media manager. She really does see the vision. She gets it, And I'm really excited to show you guys what's coming up in the next few months.
That is so exciting. I'm looking forward to the Christmas collection.
Me
It should
too.
be good.
I'm so excited to shoot it because the website, if you look at it at the moment, was me and one of my really good friends. And as much as we'd love to say we're models, we're definitely not. And so it'll be good to get professional models in the new collection, on the new website, with the new branding, with the new logo, you know, and it just kind of matches the socials. You know, TikTok and Instagram have really went through a refresh in the last 4 months. And so the website kind of needs to
join that
and look as good. And so I'm excited. I'm really, really excited for you guys to see it.
That's so good. I was going to say as well, what have you learned from running your own business? Because obviously you say, you've had to do this rebrand to help the brand grow. What else have you sort of learned?
Oh, it's definitely probably one of the hardest things is, don't get emotionally attached. I remember years and years ago, I believe the thing was to reach out to people to get, micro influencers, people that were up and coming into, the influencing world to model my things and, do reels. And I remember this one time, I messaged male and female because on the website, you will see the oversized tees, the black and white ones, were unisex. And I remember I messaged this guy. He was a young influencer, and I remember saying, I'd be really grateful. Could I gift you some things for some content? He was like, nah, absolutely not. And I was like,
so rude.
And I took it so personally. I was like, oh my God, is my clothing good enough? Do people like it?
Yeah.
And after, now
You've
a little
learned.
bit older and learned about it, I'm like, he just didn't want to because it didn't have X amount of following, and it, that's kind of, and now I guess it's resilience, and don't lose focus when things get hard. You've got to keep driven. You've got to keep your eye on the prize. Yeah. And when you have a goal, stick to the goal. And it's never going to be easy, because if a brand was easy,
everyone would do it.
Yeah. And I think it takes a certain type of person and determination and grit to really make it happen. Yeah.
I was going to say, so you say, that you've got this rebrand coming up and you've learned so much. And what is the sort of foreseeable future now that you're obviously not yachting? What is the foreseeable future for the brand?
Yeah, I would love to see the brand, like I say, be successful, but see a lot more newness to the brand. With the refresh coming up, we'll see, I'm going to put some things into the sale that were a trial and error, and get more things in that people have asked for, or, and I would love to further down the line. I've had a lot of people asking me, are you doing a men's collection? Are you going to do a children's collection? And I think, I'd love to see the brand really grow into different avenues of menswear, children's
like
wear.
Full family.
Yeah, family, because now I'm going to be a mum, and it's kind of family.
Yeah.
Kind of go into that side of things.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah, but right now I'm really focusing on, nailing it in the activewear side, really getting over the concept of why I started the brand, so that would make people feel confident and, really work on that side of things, and then start branching out to menswear and children's wear. And but I love the feedback. I love people, saying, I didn't really like that because of this. And I'm like, actually, I love your feedback. I'm taking it all on.
Yeah, check it out in the next drop kind of thing.
And I'll incorporate that into something else that I do. And so it's really exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. And I've only been back a month or so, and there's been a lot of change already. In your life, the rebrand, and so I'm really looking forward to it.
That's exciting. I was going to ask as well, I haven't actually asked this, but how did you find getting a manufacturer to make the products and stuff, or is that all done? In what way is that done?
It did take a lot. It wasn't easy. I'm looking for a reliable manufacturer. And I'm actually glad you brought this up, because before I started the brand, I was listening to podcasts about how did you find your manufacturer, and they made it seem so easy and seamless.
Yeah.
And I remember not so long ago I was listening to a podcast, and it was a girl saying that her business basically went into liquidation because they had used a manufacturer that they'd always used, and they got the sampling perfect, and the product that they sent out was the wrong fabrics, the wrong colour, and it is really hard, to trust, and you're basically putting your
business in someone else's hands.
Yeah, essentially, and you are praying that they follow the tech pack, they follow what all the specifics that you've gave them, and it does take that one hit. And I guess obviously with that certain brand it happened a few times, but if you're putting down hundreds of thousands of pounds on a product that
went wrong or something,
it's sometimes really hard to come back from that. So I think I find that really difficult, putting control, having no control, and putting your product into someone else's hands. And it happened to me not that long ago. I had put in for these leggings, so I picked the fabric and the length, and they were great. The first batch was everything that I'd asked for. I then put in a reorder, and I received the leggings, and I picked them up, and I was like, no, they are not what I asked for. They're all crinkled at the top. The fabrics, because I like to use premium fabrics, and the fabrics were not, and I was like, I can't sell them.
Yeah, that's not what I've asked for.
So it wasn't hundreds of thousands of pounds, but it was a lot of money, especially because I'm an independent
business.
And I fund everything myself. So
that's your money it's coming out of, kind of thing.
And that's the thing. Like, I remember I got a DM maybe about 6 months ago. I've had a few people saying, are you going to go into plus size? And that is my dream, because like I say, Eclipsar, I want it to be diverse, and I want it to be for everyone, every body type. But it's the funding. You fund it yourself, so you have to kind of go with what people are buying, and then branch out.
And then you can do what you want, kind of thing. So where is your manufacturer?
In China.
Oh, okay.
So I did try people in Europe, and I did look at people in the UK, but they have to bring all the materials, the fabrics.
Have to import it.
They import it from China anyway, and then they put their percentage on, and it just worked.
It adds up.
Yeah, it was way too expensive. And me personally, I think, the best products do come from China. And hopefully, further down the line, I will be able to, use manufacturers that are closer. But I know a lot of brands do use China as a manufacturer, and they are the best right now. And that's my personal opinion.
Experience.
And experience on it. Have
you ever had the opportunity to go to the factory? Or
I haven't.
You haven't? Not yet?
Not yet. But it's something that I would like to do in the next year or so, is to go out and meet my suppliers and get that more personal relationship. And really speak to them and be like, this is who I'm dealing with. This is the Eclipsar founder. So it'd be really good. So hopefully that'll happen. I did want to do it in the next 6 months, but obviously
there's a baby coming,
and
she's got a lot on.
Things have changed, and so hopefully soon
that'd be really exciting.
Well,
it sounds like Eclipsar is going down in a very exciting path, and now you can especially put in like all your time into it, so it's really gonna hopefully boom, it sounds like.
A lot of time. At the moment I'm spending basically every day to try and get it leveled up, get it to that next stage, get it to that next professionalism kind of look, and not have it as a side hustle. So all my time goes into it at the moment, and I'm really excited about the future. I'm just
seeing where it goes,
and hoping you guys and the customers really see, you know, my potential and.
Oh, it's definitely going to go somewhere good. I've got a feeling.
Oh, this makes me happy. Well. Thank you so much.
I mean, I love this stuff. Obviously, I've helped you out at a couple of shoots, and I love this stuff. I think it's so nice.
Yeah.
So there's no reason that it shouldn't boom once you're putting all your time into it. So it's really exciting.
It is, and I'm so excited for you to come on the next shoot with us.
Don't worry, I'll be there.
So you will be a part of it all, which is really exciting, and see the new collection and have a little sneak peek before everyone else.
Exciting. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming in today. Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
No, I think we've covered everything. But thank you so much for having me. I've had the most amazing time with
I'm glad. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for watching today's episode, and be sure to tune in to the next one.